Welcome to Slack Feature Friday. Today we are here with Webster University coach Mike Siener, head coach of both the men's soccer team and the men's tennis team.
Correct.
That's quite a unique position there.
Sure is.
Are there any kind of different philosophies maybe from the two sports? I mean, obviously two different games, but are there any different coaching philosophies you have to use?
It's definitely different game. I've done it for quite a while now, and coached basketball for a while too. So it's interesting, dynamic. It's just interesting each sport how different it is, and tennis is very different than soccer. Being an individual sport, you kind of learn different things from your players. In each sport, like with tennis, for example, you're kind of out there by yourself at times. I always look at it as a really tough mental sport, and physically, but mentally. With tennis, you start appreciating some of your high quality athletes that you have, because there's really nowhere to hide. So if you're breaking down mentally, or you're missing balls, you can't pass it to a teammate and go hide in the corner. With some team sports, maybe if you're having a rough night, you can still kind of, not necessarily hide, but kind of get back with the flow. And so tennis, there's a lot of things as a starting coaching, you learn to appreciate over time. But I think the team dynamic makes it a lot different in terms of coaching. Although I kind of have a team background coaching philosophy, I think, so I kind of have brought that into the tennis aspect. So I try to make that philosophy that I've brought with the soccer or basketball, and try to input that in tennis. But it's different. But then at the same time, you'll see a lot of similarities too.
Now, you mentioned that you coached multiple different sports.
Sure.
You were also a multiple student athlete.
Right.
I mean, I think you're like a true definition of D3.
Sure.
Allowing you to play whatever you want,
right.
Multiple sports. Can you talk about that kind of style, how D3 helped you come here to Webster when you're a student athlete and play those different sports?
Sure. Was a three-sport athlete in high school, and probably wasn't big enough or maybe good enough to get an athletic scholarship, probably to play one sport. I did go to NAIA school. I was going to play basketball and soccer there. Played soccer in the fall, decided I didn't like it, and then how I arrived here was I had a friend of mine that I grew up with, went to elementary school, middle school, and high school with. Went to school here, liked it, had a good experience his first semester, so I ended up transferring here as a sophomore. It's kind of, I laugh about it now, but since I was 6, I played sports year-round. So I didn't really have an off-season, and even here, it was just, I went from soccer to basketball and tennis, and that's just what I did. That's what I was used to. So it's Webster at the time. I think the programs were getting better at the time. Soccer was pretty established. I think basketball was very good. Tennis probably was still starting to get going, so it allowed me kind of to play tennis, where maybe if the tennis program was at a higher level, maybe that maybe would have been the sport I couldn't maybe have played. But so Webster allowed me to do all three of those, where at another place, maybe a higher level, you're not able to do that. So for me, I think it made me a well-rounded student and student athlete. And actually, I'm sitting here now probably because of that. I got hired full-time here because of the men's and women's tennis job was open. I was able to take that on, and then of course now I'm the head soccer coach, and I had been an assistant basketball coach for 10 years. So all of those sports allowed me to, I think, be where I am today. So if I didn't get to play all three, and maybe I just played one, who knows if I'd be sitting here as a soccer coach. So it was a great experience playing all three, and Division III athletics really allowed me to do that.
So obviously you mentioned that you transferred into Webster.
Mm-hmm.
You must obviously like it here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've been here for 15 years now,
sure.
after even graduating. What is it about Webster University that you like?
Yeah, can't get rid of me, I guess. I don't know. It's, for me as a student here, it was kind of a home away from home. So it was 30 minutes away. So I got kind of the feel of being away from home, which I liked, but not too far away. I guess I had a good experience here with the sports I had, and I had good coaches. My basketball coaches were great. My soccer coach I loved. My tennis coach I loved. So I didn't really have anything bad here. Academically, it was great. I connected with a lot of people. So I think that big connection I had was the reason I liked it here. I connected really well with my coaches too. That's kind of how I started coaching. Is my basketball coach really wanted me to help out, and for 2 or 3 years I was kind of just a part-time coach, not making any money or very, very little.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got involved with that, and I think the bond I created early with the students we had here and the staff we had here kept me here. My boss, Tom Hart, was great to work with. Dave Kaneshiro, the first basketball coach, was great to work with. Chris Bunch, again, did everything in the world for me when I was young, and and then coaching under Marty Toad again. So, maybe I look back, and if I would have had a bad experience or a mentor that I just didn't get along with, maybe it would have pushed me down a different path. But I haven't had that here, so nothing's ever, forced me to feel uncomfortable here and want to, look and pursue other things. So, and it's still here. The staff here is great. We're all good friends. Athletic director, staff, faculty are all great to work with. So it's a great environment to be in every day. So, and you look at our staff, a lot of them have been here a long time. And even the ones that have had a lot of success aren't moving on to that next job. So,
you just mentioned the importance of coaches and mentors. Back years from now, when you're retired, what kind of mark do you want to leave as a coach?
Yeah, I try to, we always look at ourselves and try to get better every year and things you want to improve on. And, I really want to stay, I feel like I'm still young, but as I get older, I still want to make sure that I'm trying to connect with that student athlete, just not on the soccer field, but also in life. And I told them, this year before we started, part of my job and maybe the big portion of what I look at is trying to be a mentor for the kids. There's not every day am I going to be the best soccer coach or have all the answers to everything, but I feel like I try really hard to be a good person, a good mentor for the kids in terms of things we do and how we go about our program. I try to be an example for them. So years from now, that's what I would want to look back on and say, hopefully I was a good mentor, a good leader, somebody that they respected, and I was an honest, upfront guy, and I still hopefully have those bonds. I think in 20, 30 years or 15 years, if I still have those connections, I think those are the things that last a long time. The wins and losses, they come and go, and sounds cliche, but it's true. So those are the long-lasting bonds and connections you make with people, I think, are most important to me.
All right, Coach, thanks for sitting down with us today. Best of luck in the spring.
Thank you. Appreciate it.